Hello everyone, I'm Perfect1322 and this is just a really quick update video after the previous video in the series where I talked about how Downforce was broken. It appears that that is an intentional change. Now I got a call from one of the guys who I met when I went to visit Rockstar, and he gave me a little bit more information directly from the devs because he saw the previous video and he wanted to let me know a little bit more information about it. And it seems as though the message that he got from the devs is that they intentionally lowered the effect of Downforce and made things in Los Santos Customs apply again in terms of performance modifications. Now that can only mean one thing: spoilers. So I got the guys in the racing community to test this out a little bit, and it seems as though spoilers actually work on cars that have Downforce. So previously, cars that have Downforce, spoilers did nothing. It was just the Downforce alone that gave them the increased cornering speeds. But now you do need a spoiler. That's the main thing to take away from this, is that even if it isn't increasing the traction bar in Los Santos Customs, you do need a spoiler on every single car. That is an aftermarket spoiler, obviously. When it comes to the RE7B, for example, the aftermarket spoiler is going to be a better performance of the car than the regular spoiler that's on there. The default spoiler doesn't do anything. Same with every other car that has a default spoiler option. But it seems as though the Downforce and the way that spoilers work with cars with Downforce has changed a little bit. Now I'm going to go into this in more detail. Obviously I still can't really test at the moment, but that should be I should be back to being able to test things next week, and I'm going to make a fact finding video that explains all of this in great detail, and we'll go through it. We'll see what exactly they've changed, why they've done it. So it seems as though the testing that we did in the previous video, that was done with the RE7B without the aftermarket spoiler. When you put the aftermarket spoiler on it, it will be a little bit quicker and a bit more stable as well. It's still not quite as quick as what it was before this change, before gun running, but it is certainly a lot closer. And this should also mean that cars with like the Italy GTB Custom and the Spectre Custom, vehicles that previously weren't as quick because they only had Downforce, they should be a little bit better now. Now it remains to be seen what lap times they will get. Obviously I'm going to have to retest every single car that has Downforce acting on it. I gave the list of what those cars are in the previous video. But it seems as though basically the thing that you need to take away from this is that if you have a car that does have Downforce, you do need to add a spoiler on it as well, and you will get increased performance just like every other car in the game. But it doesn't seem to be affecting it in the same way that spoilers do on other cars. So it is slightly different, and it seems as though there's two different rule sets for that, for cars with Downforce and without. But it does seem like this has been an intentional change, and it's to, I think it's probably in response of the fact that things like the Italy GTB Custom were much slower than the regular Italy GTB, because the regular version got the spoiler increase, which was actually a lot better than the just the Downforce on its own. So it seems like after all this time, when spoilers were added to, you know, the Cunning Stunts vehicles when they were first released, it seems like after all this time it was actually the Downforce aspect that was too much, rather than the spoilers doing something in the first place. So it's interesting how that's happened, and they finally, obviously it seems like they're a little bit behind with that, and obviously it takes a while to fix these things. But I think this is probably how it's going to stay at this point, and that's certainly the information and the news that I got from my sources at Rockstar. So it seems as though this was an intentional change. I will obviously go back and test all of the Downforce vehicles, get new lap times for those things, and let you guys know their relative performance, whether some have improved and some haven't. It is more likely to benefit the cars that have less Downforce, because they're now going to get the spoiler increase, which should help. But like I said, I'll also make a fact-finding video that will explain all of this in detail, and we'll go through everything, see how Downforce affects things now in the new ways that things have changed, and obviously I'll let you guys know in the coming weeks as we understand more about what's been happening. One final thing to point out as well is that the Nero and the T20, they're active spoilers. They're the spoilers that are on the back of the car that move and do things like that under braking and whatnot. all of those those spoilers on those active spoilers are currently bugged, but it is only a visual bug. It doesn't affect performance at all, but it just looks a little bit. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work, but it is just a visual bug. I thought I'd make that clear. It doesn't actually affect their performance. So that's pretty much everything. Hopefully this has shone some light on it. And like I say, in the coming weeks we'll actually get down to this properly and give you guys some proper information on that. But obviously because I'm in Sweden at the moment and doing a few other things, I'm not able to do that right now, but it should be very shortly that we'll get all the testing done, and I'll let you guys know in detail what's been going on. So thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate the support as always, and I'll see you next time.